Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Altera, a 5th edition actual play podcast for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan,
Delvin,
Winnie,
Relnor.
All right, and last time on the Titans of Altera.
All right, so last time we got off the airship, which Eric so aptly named Airshippy McAirship Face.
Correct.
A math.
Yeah.
We got off that to Lestraad. We're going to Bordu's funeral, but it hasn't happened yet. And there's a huge HEXpo of gnome inventions going on. And, Joan talked to Partoon?
Yeah.
Partoon about being immortal, and we found out Relnor's a warden.
Yeah.
And then...
Or becoming one.
And then when he talked to Twylia, and she was like, beware. Well, first of all, we want you to speak at the funeral. And then we want to honor you for your little water invention, cleaning invention thing. And then she was like, watch out for rain, which means we know that Rain Portentia is around.
Water for rain. That was such a weirdly deep sentence.
For rain.
Oh, doesn't water for rain.
Watch out for rain.
I was like, wow.
Sorry, I've watched too much Marvel lately.
Watch out for rain. It's like, yeah. I don't know what it is. You have a way of saying like a very short one-liner that's incredibly catchy.
I don't know, man.
Watch out for rain.
Let's get that going for me.
Anything else? I think that was a pretty good recap.
I thought it was excellent.
It was all over the place.
That's
great.
Got it all.
and Delphin's here, everybody.
Just woke up.
No, of course. Ricky is here.
It takes a moment for the Red Bull to kick in.
It really does, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with Joan.
That's me.
We're picking up more or less right where we left off, maybe a little later in the day. Joan, you're at the library, the Lestraad library.
So many books.
It's grown quite a bit since you were last here.
Gosh, I have a lot of work to do.
There are orcs from the well, kind of mingling all about.
I nod, and then
And-
they look at me.
Yeah, they nod. They know you. Some of them have seen you
Yes.
when you were at the well. You see a very familiar figure.
Alora?
It turns and looks at you. It's Jerry.
I hug him.
They
Yes,
turn,
very,
look at
very
you.
curvy figure.
I hug him. He does not hug me back. He just stands there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry, it's so good to see you.
He reaches his hand up and pats you on the top of the head.
Can you please do me a huge favor?
Mm-hmm.
Will you? I see that you guys have amassed quite a few new books, scrolls, and tomes since I was last here.
He blinks.
Would you please grab me your 3 favorites?
Okay, he stops. Just really having to think now.
If you have to do 5, it's fine.
And he kind of runs off.
Goodbye, Jerry. I wave.
All right.
I hope they're all children's books.
Joan! My Joan. And you get a big hug from behind. It's Davi.
Hi, Davi.
Yep.
You've returned!
I have. I'm back.
And how is Steven?
The knife
Oh,
she gave you.
yes. Thank
That you
thank
never brought up again.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's
Do you
used
wanna-
it to make
In
delicious.
fact, Josh forgot to tell me to add it to my sheet.
Do you want to roll a history check to see if you were able to hang on to the knife or if you lost it at some
This is our
point?
first roll. Did we do a whole episode with no rolling?
Yeah, you didn't get to say
No,
21.
There was a roll last week.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Oh,
okay.
no, yeah.
Our last episode.
JK.
Am I the only one that did anything important last episode?
Oh, it was 7. Okay, right. I got nervous. I thought it was a 1. I was like, oh no.
That was awfully gleeful for thinking it was a 1.
Gone. Well,
You rolled.
crits are fun
What
no
did you
matter
roll
what.
there then? History.
13.
Okay. So yeah, you know you have it somewhere.
Yeah. Yes, Stephen is in my possession.
That right, devil.
He's a trickster, that
Right,
little
Jeff.
Stephen.
Well,
Very bread-like.
I hear you've been all over the place.
I have been a bit busy. That is not wrong.
Come. She puts your hand on her arm
Yes.
and kind of starts walking with you and says, tell me everything.
Okay, well, I actually need to talk to you and Laura because I got quite the quandary.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yes.
How do you, can you just kind of show me one of your spells?
Yeah, which one do you want to see? You want to see a big one, little one?
Ooh, big.
A big one? Okay. Do you have 10 minutes?
For you, Joan, always.
Let us pray.
Fine.
So I pray for 10 minutes.
To what?
Your mom.
To the gray. I should say the gray god is the only of like the three
It
that
still exists.
still has power.
Yeah, so that's who I pray to. Duh. The gray god's name is Wendy.
The Grays.
Aww.
This is not
Oh, okay.
Valis the Whole.
I'm praying to a god named Wendy.
So Davi, because she lost her power as a red cleric, is now learning gray. So she's like a new gray cleric.
Cool.
That is cool. I like that.
I pray, and then I cast legend lore.
Whoa.
You pray for 10 minutes?
Yes,
It's a big spell.
yes, it's a 5th level.
Okay, what are you doing?
And so the spell brings to my mind a brief summary of the significant lore about Jimmy. It can
You don't have to
consist
have it in your
of
possession or like touch
Nope.
it or anything?
name or describe. It can consist of current tales, forgotten stories,
is.
even secret lore that isn't widely known. If it isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. The information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language.
As you're starting to pray, like you start to kind of, the air kind of starts to crackle with power around you, and a radiant kind of like tome begins to kind of like form itself in like this like glowing kind of like magical aura, and it opens itself up like a big book, and
It's so cool.
and you see kind of images of Jimmy start to kind of come out, and you're given like a kind of picture of his life, and the pages start to kind of shift and move like water.
Okay.
And you see a boat come into view, kind of small on a map.
Yeah.
But it looks somewhat familiar. In fact, as the book starts to kind of zoom in on the boat, you can see it's the Seamus. And the boat you guys, Donnie Russell's boat.
Yes, yes.
And you see another boat attacking it. In fact, this is the fight that you guys experienced.
Yes, we were like, this is a really crappy
Our
pirate.
first battle.
But then,
It's a crappy pirate.
but then it starts to zoom in on the other boat, the
Okay.
pirate ship.
Yes.
And in fact, it starts to zoom in on the magic-using captain with the kind of ripped-up
Yeah.
uniform, and you can see clearly now as you get really close. You see yourselves on the other side fighting and doing all this kind of adventurous stuff.
Being awesome.
And you can see clearly now that Jimmy is the leader of the pirate ship,
Yeah.
and he's
Such a good captain.
what struck you as a nonsensical, very ill-equipped pirate ship.
Yeah.
You now can tell that it's just Jimmy goofing around, and he's
Stinker.
getting hit with all kinds of stuff, but he's an immortal, so it just doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
And eventually he gets hit with what would have been a killing blow.
Yeah.
That chromatic orb.
Flies back into the water, and the boat goes on, and some time passes, and you see Jimmy coming out of the water, climbing up the side of the Seamus, secreting an object inside Donnie Russell's quarters, and then leaving the boat.
Interesting.
Before his assassination?
Before Donnie's assassination, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
Weird.
Does Davi see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was in a tome. It was like a show
Magically.
vision.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
It's information,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So then it disappears. It goes back. Voila!
That was Jimmy.
Yeah.
I prayed to him.
Yeah.
What?
I know. It is quite shocking to me as well.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, this is frustrating. You know, the Red God, when I prayed to him, it was all about, chaos and throwing things for a loop. This is much more ordered and knowledgeable and...
But don't you like
Helpful.
having the full picture?
Do you feel like you just got the full picture?
No, but it's not not to get technical, but I can do that once a day, and so if
But
I just
isn't it like the
keep mining,
The more you know, the more you don't... more you know you don't know?
yeah. But do you think making decisions without any information went well for you and Jimmy and everyone who prayed for the Red God? Trust me, I now understand the importance of action. But there's got to be some middle ground, you know?
Well put, my dear. And that's Allura, as she's kind of walking down some stairs.
Oh.
And she actually seems to be standing, like, taller than what you're used to.
She's like a superhero now.
Yeah, like, she's come into her kind of magical power as a priest. And so she kind of just emanates a sense of calm and reassurance. And so as she kind of comes down the stairs, you are just kind of filled with the sense that, like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right.
Yeah.
And any, like, of the kind of chaos and uncertainty you've experienced over the last several years really just washes away, and you're reminded of like how much this place means to you and your history. And Davi kind of smiles and says, she is turning out to have gained quite a bit from you as well as me, sister. So we're very proud of you, Joan.
Thank you. It's been a lot of work.
Allura says, I can sense that something weighs heavy upon you.
You can say that again.
Would you like to join us in the study and speak on these things?
Yes, please. That's why I'm here.
So the three of you kind of like walk arm in arm into the study, and you can tell them a little bit about like kind of your travels and where you've been. And then eventually there's kind of like a pregnant pause, and they're kind of more just like, they're not going to push you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up to you how deep you want to go in.
Is it private?
Yes, and Allura will kind of wave a hand, and you see kind of a shimmering line kind of cover the room. And the room, her office itself it's just another part of the library, really,
Right.
with just tons of books and
But
shelves.
she's like putting up like a
Yes.
cone of silence.
Yep.
Whatever it's called in D&D. Okay. And I pull the orb out and I set it on the table.
And they look at it and look at you, and no one's going to speak. They're kind of letting you.
So I was given this, which is what guided my travels. And I met this giant named Oberon. Do you know him?
Allura says, he is the king of the giants in the north.
Yeah.
Well informed.
He's a figure of history. He's
He's immortal.
really...
Yeah. And so basically, me being in possession of this orb means that I have the opportunity to be immortal.
Davi goes,
But that feels like a lot of pressure.
what?
And Oberon made it sound like if I became immortal, I had to like be in his little groupie group. Entourage. Sorry, that was not very eloquent of me.
And kind of racist. No, sorry.
What?
That was last episode's
Ricky
joke.
really wants to get in on this.
He hasn't said anything for 5 minutes.
Ricky's like,
You're
I
not
gotta
being very
call
sensitive
somebody.
to the groupies?
Ricky's like, I gotta call somebody racist
Sorry.
before they get to me.
All right.
Sorry.
It better be.
Yeah.
Allura
time.
says, well, Joan, you have faced some of the most powerful beings on our world and did not bend to their wills.
I mean, I don't think the strength of my will has ever been a question.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
Davi
Davi
says.
yes. But I just, like, you guys aren't immortal. Relnor and Winnie and Dalphin aren't immortal.
Yet.
And I don't know if I want to continue living past all of you.
You will most certainly outlive the two of us, I'm sure. But
Well, yeah, because you're old.
this is not a decision.
Which is a good thing.
This is not a decision that I think you should make based on what you could lose, but what it would change. You would cease to be human. You would be something else.
True.
And I do not think that any creature or being can determine what you would become, and whether that is something to be feared or loved. I believe that will always be your decision to make, Joan. And then Davi says, yeah, an immortal butthole is still an immortal butthole.
Are you talking about Oberon?
I was thinking more about Joshua.
Oh, well, him too. I was told by Bartoon that Oberon's a little bit of a deal weed, so
And who is Partoon?
Like this, Dalphin's like number 2, basically. Which the fact that Dalphin is a number 1 is a completely different matter.
It's great.
But
So he has a sidekick.
Yeah, he's got like this orb that like kind of hangs out between his horns.
Oh, he's an immortal.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was talking to him about this. I haven't told my people about this.
Why haven't you told your friends?
Well, I don't want them to look at me differently.
What do you think it will change about how they view you?
Well, it just feels like you said. What if it changes me and they don't like the new me? What if I don't like the new me? I think that's the main concern.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
What? Is Doggy gonna throw something at you?
17.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you catch just barely the sight of a blade coming toward you, and you're able to kind of just catch it
Oh.
really quickly. And
Why does she have advantage?
Because Josh didn't want me to get hurt.
Maybe her senses are sharper because she's in a cone of silence type thing.
no, it's because it came from Alora. She's standing right in front of you.
I don't think Alora's trying to hurt me
Oh.
either.
And she says, Joan, we all change. There was a time you could never have caught that knife, and there was a time I never would have thrown one. And
I'm a little concerned that you did.
Sorry, I thought that was a villain reveal. Like, we all change.
Yeah, I was a little nervous too. It was just a really weird test.
Sorry,
She's confident in you, though.
I'm not there. Sorry.
Davi's like,
Dalphin would approve.
did you know she would
Yes,
have
he would.
caught that?
Yeah, this
you,
feels like
Davi.
something. This feels like something Davi would have done.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was that good of a shot.
I didn't realize I was that good of a catch.
And we're all learning. The point is, Joan, you are not the same person you were regardless. And you will continue to change and become a new Joan, always.
Yeah.
Whether or not your friends accept that is not your responsibility.
As long as I have your guys' support.
And Davi says, you will always have that, my dear. Then entering the cone of silence is a silent person.
Awesome. And I put the orb away.
Okay. In place of where you had put the orb on this like table here,
Yes.
Jimmy drops a tome of 5 books. They're labeled 1 through 5.
Yep.
On the side of the books, it says vampire romance 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh my goodness.
Jerry, I didn't know you liked vampires so much.
He looks at you and like raises his eyebrows.
Over and over.
And then Davi says, no one likes these books, Jimmy.
Jerry.
Jerry.
That's actually perfect.
Well, he does.
Yeah.
And he's like,
He scoffs.
and Alora says, we've actually had a lot of people checking them out.
Hey, if it gets people reading, maybe Dolphin would like them. I will take these.
Davi goes, it's just
Dalphin would love them.
Davi says, it's just the pictures. That's all anybody
It's
likes
Dolphin
it
doesn't
for."
read.
Dolphin doesn't read. We're trying to get him
Oh, no,
to
he doesn't
I
read.
read all
Right.
kinds of stuff.
No. Yeah. What?
I don't read what I write, but I read
That's
a bunch.
what it
Speaking
was.
of,
I'm sorry.
Alora takes down
sorry.
the cone of silence, and you hear a voice calling out throughout the library.
Alora! Alora!
Oh, speak of the devil.
Yes, Dalphin, we're in my study.
Plop, 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 plop. My feet smacking against the floor.
I love the sound of feet on floors. Like a little toddler.
Plop, plop, plop.
It's like a scuba diver just running. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
My big
So
feet flopping.
Dalphin runs into the study.
I'm like, there you are, Joan.
Hey, I've got a great book series for you.
Get out of town.
Jerry's like,
Oh, Jerry, my main man.
It
finger
comes,
guns.
Who's your favorite halfling? Say nothing if it's me.
He picks up tome 1 of the
Yeah.
5 books and hands it to Dalphin.
Vampire, was it vampire
Romance.
Romance? Diaries? Is that
He,
what it
he
is?
raises his eyebrows towards Dalphin.
Interesting. I'll check it out. Oh, but Alora, I'm sorry. I came.
I came here for you, not for
Everyone's just
vampire
looking at
romance.
Dalphin.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about the temples that I've been researching
Oh, yes.
outside of Altera.
Raistlin had sent you in a group of you.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm the only one that made it back. But not their sacrifice was not in vain. I've already debriefed Raistlin.
Good.
And I wanted to talk to you, just kind of let you know what I found.
Yes, please. Jerry, please fetch the notes. And he kind of rushes off, comes back really quickly with a pad to take notes.
Cool. And I basically talk about our journey. I talk about the temples that we found. I show her and talk about the artifacts, the different traps, the magic, like all the weird stuff we encountered.
Would you allow us to have the temple dagger for a period so that we may study and create some drafts of it?
Oof. I kind of like it. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Just for a short period of time.
Yeah, how long will you need it?
An evening.
Okay, sure. What about the jewel? The emerald.
The emerald is interesting. I'm going to roll a Arcana here for Allura. She says, I sense very old, strong magic within this stone, but I'm not certain that it's elder magic.
Okay.
But there's something ancient here.
It definitely seems like the magic surrounding the sun temples is something other. It doesn't, because I don't think it lines up with elder magic a lot of times. It seems like it's something else. Something maybe deeper, more natural, almost.
You mentioned that you've been traveling with an immortal being?
Correct, Partoon. He's a warden and an immortal.
And that was who you mentioned?
Yes, it is.
Ah.
His number 2.
My number 2.
When did we decide Delphin could have a number 2?
When all my
Just
friends
now.
died.
Technically, Partoon is your number 3 because Delphin's your number 2.
Correct. Or maybe he's like a fraction.
Are we going to all be equals?
Nah.
That's a little racist.
Or sure, we can all be equal as long as I'm number 1.
Dolphin
We all
wants to
know
be
who
a
the
doormat.
captain of the
I
ship
am the
is.
most equal of everyone.
No,
And it's me, right?
Delphin wants to be
of course it's you, of course
Relnor's
it's you.
doormat.
That's right.
No one else is.
No one else.
Just Relnor's doormat.
That's right.
Only Relnor can step on me.
That's
The-
right.
Aw.
Wipe his muddy boots on my head.
Nope.
Not gonna go anywhere with that. We're gonna let that
Just
one
back out of that
lie.
Moving on.
Gonna leave that one alone.
All right. So, yeah, interesting. I would like to speak to this Partoon.
I'll bring him along someday before we leave.
Do. I understand that the 4 of you have reunited because of the unfortunate passing of Bordu.
Yeah, that kind of brought us all back from what we were doing. But it's good to be back. I don't know that we'll go back to our. There might be. I don't know. I'm sure what the plan is after this, but.
It's a nice reunion
Davy
while we
says-
have it.
You don't need a plan. You don't always need a plan.
I agree, Davy.
There's that red through and through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't really lose it all.
Like a red gray,
It's like a brick.
Like a pink.
red.
No. Ew.
Like a sad pink,
Oh,
a misty pink.
yeah.
Salmon.
Ooh, salmonella.
Like a brown.
Like a brown.
I broke Eric's brain.
Yeah, you get salmonella from salmon, right?
I do explain the key-like facet of the dagger hilt.
Okay.
Um,
And really, all they want to like keep it for a time is so that they can make some sketches of it, so
Yeah.
that they can continue to study the.
Document it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Actually, can I roll an insight real quick?
Yes.
I'm curious as to, and I have no real reason to doubt Allura, but I'm very protective of these artifacts. So I just want to make sure that she's just all above board.
Yes.
My insight's not great. Oh,
You never
wow,
know.
that's
That was a great roll.
21. 21.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Whiny
I'd say
wang.
like as soon as you kind of enter the study, you're given that same sense of like reassurance, and
All my doubts and fears are put to rest.
yes, you know that at the very least you can really trust Allura
Yeah.
and Davi.
Because it didn't have anything to do with what I thought of them. It was just me being like extra cautious.
And really, like,
Aw, Dolphin's growing.
you didn't learn
I
this.
am.
You didn't learn this till after the battle in Lestraad, but Allura more or less like single-handedly cleared Lestraad of Titans. So she was basically imbued with like all of Valisol's power. Oh my
goodness.
When
because Valisol
Valisol,
absorbed them both.
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as Valisol decided to go on the offensive after her brother was killed by her other brother, she basically like released all of the Grey Order to engage in combat.
Right.
And they all
So-
became 3 times as more powerful than
Yeah, they all got really strong.
300%.
I will say, like, the priests specifically, like, her most faithful were basically given, like, an extra dose of power. So yeah, she's kind of has changed a lot, actually. So, yeah, you do get a good sense that you can trust her.
Cool. I offer it up freely. Do you have any recommendations of any maybe arcane scientists that could examine the emerald or like any gem specific? Like, do you know of anybody that I could take this to?
I mean, the foremost expert on these magical gemstones is Truffle Bundle.
Okay, yeah, he didn't know either. Bummer.
Wait.
Yeah.
Dolphin,
Yes, Joan?
I think I can help you, but we have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay. I was
Alright.
planning on being here tomorrow.
Great. Let's get brunch.
Oh, I love brunch.
The
After breakfast.
Davi says, I will say, there are several immortals that have visited the library.
You don't say.
One in particular seems to be very focused on knowledge, and she's mentioned in some of our conversations a library of the immortals.
Is she still here?
She comes and goes as she pleases, and it's very hard to track her. We've set up wards. We've tried to she comes and goes as she wills, and we have no way to keep her here.
What is
Nor
she?
would we try,
Is
I
she
think,
human? Warden?
She looks elven,
Elven, okay.
but
I wonder if Partoon knows her.
I bet he does.
her name is Emery.
Oh, you have a name. That's even better. A name and a no.
I have found her to be both decent company and a frustrating conversationalist.
I know some people like that.
Those are good. You need those people to sharpen you.
She doesn't answer a lot of questions, but she creates many.
I know
Joy.
some people like that.
Like the show Lost. Sorry.
Random, but not untrue.
Tell me more about this show.
Oh, I mean the book. It's a book I read.
Jerry goes,
Ooh.
An
There's no
airship.
vampires in it, Jerry. No.
An airship crashes.
There's a random polar bear. You never find out where it came from.
Smoke monster.
something about Jacob's ladder.
Bunch of numbers.
All right. So you guys reconvene later that day. Unless there's anything anyone wants to do in particular, we'll move on.
I'm good.
Nope. Good.
Moving on is okay.
So you guys kind of continue to enjoy the expo. I will say that there are a lot of golem costumes and imagery and art of your different golems that you guys wrote around as heroes. You really are kind of like prolific figures. However, some of the the paintings and depictions of the four of you aren't photorealistic or accurate. So
They just can't get my nose right.
I think Relnor and Winnie get recognized the most walking around. Dalphin is usually depicted as taller,
Cool with that.
Not a problem.
and Joan is usually depicted with a bunch of armor on, and so not a lot of people
Oh.
a battle cleric.
Joan-
So they don't. Yeah,
So,
they don't. They don't have more than one idea of a cleric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joan of Joe.
So, but yeah, Relnor is pretty much looks like Relnor, and Winnie, your kind of iconic cloak is kind of the, and
It's easy.
Yeah.
Small gnome with purple cloak.
yes,
Ta-da.
and your family's also become fairly well known.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
you're both kind of you all have celebrity, but you guys can move a little more incognito.
Wait.
They're a little
When I told my dad he was not allowed to hang imagery of me in all the. Did he pay attention?
Oh,
He-
no.
Did he comply?
No, absolutely
he did.
not.
He did comply.
No, he's a good guy.
He did comply, but there is.
But he's also your father.
There are, I will say, candy golems have become a thing, and so like there are tons of like little like goat
Hints
like heads
and
on
like
a stick and like
wolves and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, he's still using the fame a little bit, like, but yeah.
Done some branding.
Sorry to juke us there. It's just-
No, it's all good. You guys continue to kind of like walk around, enjoy the expo, catch up a little bit. Dan and Relnor's Deep Plates is doing very well.
Did we talk about my new T-shirt?
No.
Because you don't.
Last episode?
I'm wearing a T-shirt that says "Down with Immortals."
Oh, wow. You really bought into the...
No,
I'm
you're
just kidding.
not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yikes.
He's in deep.
I would like to leave the table. I'm uncomfortable.
So, yeah. It's
Sorry, you need a yellow card to feel uncomfortable.
full
Oh, that's
swing.
right. We got the...
Jonas, you and Dalvin kind of like leave the library to kind of head to Deep Plates to this is where you guys kind of decided you'd reconnect. You do catch a small stage on the side of the street and one Markle Sparkle. He's strumming away on his guitar with an accompanying bard, a small halfling woman who is playing some kind of percussionary instrument, and they're singing about you guys.
Oh no.
What are they singing, Josh? What does it sound like?
He's strumming at
That's coming.
Markle Sparkle's going like, and that's when they decided that they had to go south.
Wow, he picked up the.
He's gotten sassy.
yeah.
And then he kind of hands it over to. He goes, "Take it away, Barb." And then
Barb!
what's Barb
Barb's
the
last-
bard? She goes, "I am the J-O-A-N. Stormcrown is my name. You can catch me praying in the AM. Daughter of Lestraad, cleric of the Grey. I serve on Reynolds' crew along with Dalphin and Winay." And just kind of keeps going.
Whoa! Barb is awesome.
Why am I the only one clapping?
And so yeah, there's someone walks by.
That's about what it
Not over
deserves.
yet.
A little girl in cardboard, like kind of like made like kind of like I was like
Cardboard Joan armor?
like Joan Armour's walking by, and she kind of goes, she tugs on Joan's robe and says, "You don't have a very good Joan costume,
What's your name?
That's fantastic.
Mary.
Mary, you have a very good costume. No one could beat it.
I'm Joan." And then she pulls out a sword and like runs that way.
Sword!
Joan has a mace, not a sword.
Prove it. Yeah, but there's all kinds of people like
Dolphin gets up in the mosh pit.
Where did Dolphin go?
She's
Where's
our
Delphin?
being alternate universe. Joan.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Dolphin gets the front. He's dancing.
and then just kind of, that's where they're the heroes. Woo!
What do we got here in the audience? We got I think
I love you, Marco!
we got an actual one of the heroes here, everybody.
Hello.
Delvin,
Wait,
get on up here, Delvin.
Oh,
We
I jump on the
shoved
stage.
Delphin away from us so we don't
This-
get
Not
noticed.
associated with him.
Now, you know, I ran into these guys on the road.
Yep, you did. He moved me with his song of peaches, and from that point on, I was never the same.
Delvin, give us a song.
Oh, that's not my job.
And then Barb says, "Nonsense."
Oh, my name is Dolphin. It rhymes with Alphin. When I
She's
eat
kind of
food,
slowly
Eric's
stops.
gonna
it
choke.
makes me Ralphin. Don't catch me when I'm meditating. 'Cause if you do, you'll pay for it. And I go, I gotta go. Bye.
Like all of a sudden, the crowd is gonna like die.
Roll me. I'm in a bar.
Roll me a performance check
Oh
with
no!
disadvantage.
Oh great! Those are my favorite ones. My performance is -2.
Well, that
Well, that's a 1, but that's a dirty one. It's not a natural one. It's not a critical fail. And that's a 9. So we'll go with the 1.
Yeah.
No, wait,
so,
no, 9. I'll go with the 9. No, disadvantage. I gotta go with 1.
um,
I forgot how this works.
Marco Sparkle goes,
All right, kid, get off the stage, please.
Sorry, Marco. I'll see you. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
and then he kind of, "Take it away, Barb." And they try and like get it back up, but yeah.
Hey, you made him look good.
Really, I brought that down. I'm not gonna do that again.
No, you made him look good. It's okay.
Until the next time.
Yep. Just kind of got caught up in the moment.
Maybe in an alternate universe, you're a bard.
Maybe in also I'm an immortal captain.
Hey,
Huh?
what was that?
What?
And then Relnor comes walking by. He's got arms full of treats and food that people have given him for free. She's just like, everyone's kind of like it's Relnor. It's Relnor.
Oh, I start grabbing snacks.
Joan, would you like some? Please take some. Winnie, you too.
Yeah, there's Winnie. She
There's
shows up.
cinnamon roll in there.
There's 12 actually.
I will take 2.
Here's 4.
I wanted 2, and I give
Perfect.
2 back.
You got 4.
I give 2 to Delphin.
I gotta be honest, guys. I missed the adoration. Like, I was alone for a long time.
I did miss the company. I wouldn't say I missed the adoration,
I missed both.
but I missed you guys a lot.
I'll trade you, Dolphin.
You want me to be the captain of your ship?
Yeah, if I can be alone for a little while.
Okay. Maybe?
I don't
know if I could do
I don't
that.
think you're gonna have a ship after that.
Can captain without me or him.
But he thinks he's the captain. I think the ship's gonna go down.
Highly likely.
Not with Tooby in the engine room.
Tooby.
Winnie just ignores you and moves on.
I follow suit.
Awesome.
It's too long of a story.
So yeah, you guys continue to kind of like walk the streets all together. It's actually pretty like
Laughing and munching.
it's pretty fun. It's a good vibe here at the expo, the HEXpo. So eventually, it kind of like everything starts to kind of like die down. People are starting to like pick up shop, and the expo starts to kind of like move more kind of toward the docks, I would say. As like it's a slow death of the HEXpo,
It's
like
sort of like petering out, or however you say it. Yeah.
So like as evening starts to come, it starts to kind of wind down, and shops are now kind of closing, and you guys know to reconvene kind of at there is a big kind of courtyard square next to the kind of barracks by the sea, where a lot of like military ceremonies are held.
Yeah.
And so that's
Christening boats.
yes, and so that's kind of where you
Maybe.
guys like know the
It would be the
funeral's
same
gonna
place
be.
we had Donnie Russell's funeral, probably.
There was so much chaos. Like, did they have a ceremony for Donnie?
We did after
Yeah.
everything went settled down.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought they
we've
had,
been to one funeral.
I thought they had
before.
like something for everybody. Like it was a big like after the battle. Like they had like a lot.
Oh,
of,
I guess
they
it
sent
was
a lot
kind of
people
one
off.
was kind of a grand memorial, but
Yeah.
I know that Donnie was mentioned. I think.
Yeah, yeah,
No, maybe
yeah.
not. Maybe I'm making.
It probably was.
That's my headcanon, probably.
But yeah, like very similar. Yeah, it's a similar event, but it's just about for one person.
And there's a bunch of orcs here this time. So
Yeah,
that's
so,
different.
like, it's actually, it's strange because does feel like the whole kingdom is still kind of come out for this. Bordu was about as big of a hero as you guys at the end of it all, and so, and the fact that he kind of became a stakeholder in the community at Lestraad, and so a lot of people knew him, on top of everyone in Lestraad that knew him as part of the Donnie's ship.
yeah.
He ended up touching a lot of different groups. You guys are kind of welcomed, like before the ceremonies kick off, they've kind of invited like the people who knew him the most kind of to gather like at a little like a dinner kind of like mixer thingy, like,
Feast.
to kind of prep before the ceremony and get everybody in the same place. Unfortunately, I actually like am familiar with these types of things from the time when I was a pastor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty somber, but you guys see a lot of familiar faces. Grafar's there. There's a good batch of orcs from the well, like a few that knew him.
Any southern folk? Any southern humans?
Burden.
Burden, yeah.
Yeah.
The Erden,
Probably not, right?
I don't think so.
They
Not
had
really.
a bad time after
Yeah,
we left. Sadly.
Yeah, and I don't think that they were as connected with Bordu.
Yeah, that's true. Even though they were living in the same
It's a
kind of
good
region.
question, though.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and he helped with the war there
Yeah.
for sure. But they're still doing a lot of rebuilding, I think,
Yeah.
in the south. Tuilia's there. Oh, I'll say at this point, Relnor Harris is there.
Ah.
There
Oh,
it
I miss that
is.
cat.
The guy.
Dwarf.
He says,
Oh,
if it
Jesus.
isn't the old blah, 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 blah. Relnor Windhelm, you old so and so, and he kind of comes over and like pats you on the shoulder. I missed you, my boy.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. And he kind of gives you a hug, and Eddie's there with them.
His new wife.
Yeah, she kind of like nods. Yeah. She nods her head. Yeah, they've been married as time's passed, and he's now the dean of the academy.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet.
Because didn't he have to kill the last one? Wasn't it the guy that attacked him? That wizard?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
He made a job opening for himself.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just picturing Delphin being like, "Oh, you killed that guy." So
I thought maybe that wasn't the dean. I don't know. But
That was so funny.
I'd say Twilia's doing a fine job with the city, the kingdom.
I'm glad you found a niche.
Oh, it's good work. I like scaring all the cadets. But they got this inventor college now in the kingdom.
Oh.
They're distinctly not part of the military, but the gnomes established it so that others than themselves could become acclaimed inventors.
That's awesome.
It's interesting. It's a lot of change, but it's good. I think it's good. I hear you're quite the adventurer now.
I dabble.
You dabble.
He dabbled
Here
a
and
whole
there.
ship.
All right. That's my boy. Well, it's good to live in peace.
Here, here.
There's a lot of people past the mountains that aren't living in peace. A lot of people that need help.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're doing your part to continue to help those that need it. You do your father proud.
Thank you.
You'd all do your fathers and mothers proud. And he starts to get emotional.
Aww.
No thanks.
He's a big softie now.
With his one eye.
Not a fan of my dad's that much, so.
Your dad?
Some backstory on Joan coming
it's
out.
pretty like gray.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, didn't? Yeah, so I'm not that much.
No,
I'm not that
Gray's
big of a
good.
fan. Yeah, Gray's good.
It's not great.
Yeah, this is
Maybe it's opaque.
Sure.
blurry.
Yeah.
Anyway, he just more meant that he's proud of all of you guys, and it's good to have y'all back. I think sometimes about that first mission Ascension. Oh,
It was kind of you that got the whole ball rolling. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I suppose, but it turns out I had some recommendations from Justin.
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 He had a hand in it. I can't lie.
That's right.
Classic.
Bit of a conniver, that one.
Yeah.
Sneaky goose.
Sneaky goose.
It's a new age. Anyhow, tell ya, Bordu, incredible. What a life. Has anyone told you how he passed?
No, I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, no one's said anything.
Eddie kind of says, this information came to us somewhat secretively. The queen and the is trying to keep it as quiet as possible. They found him dead by a blade.
He was murdered? Was
We
Orcicide?
believe so. Dalphin, you have that crystal blade, correct?
Correct. I whip it out.
It was similar.
Dolphin, you should probably put that away.
I put it back.
And there has been a recalling of any weapons of that kind of make.
Ooh.
In Lestraad. They're trying to gather them or at least keep track of them.
Davi was dealing these out in Lestraad. Yeah.
Well, they're very powerful weapons.
But it was the dwarves that found them, right?
It was Diadem Reach.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, shoot.
Yeah. Not good.
And why would they leave why'd they leave the dagger behind?
I don't know.
That's suspicious.
Either they're sloppy or they're trying to send a
Well,
message.
I don't see Bordu getting caught by a sloppy assassin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of uncertainty involved. But I'm sorry to add a wrinkle to all of this.
No, it's good for us to know.
If word got out that it was a murder, there would be a lot of chaos. And people would be calling for the murderer. And we're trying to keep it under the rug. At least that's what the officials are. I don't know if that's the right thing to have done, but politicians will continue to be politicians. And
Was he here in the city?
Oh yeah, where did it happen? Where did they find
no,
it?
it happened in Lestraad.
Oh, did you say that?
Yes.
Sorry.
I missed
That's
that.
all right.
No, I missed that too.
It's a lot to take in.
Oh man.
It is upsetting. So there was no sign of a struggle. There was no.
Where was he stabbed?
No, it wasn't a killing blow.
What?
It was more like in the leg.
But they think he died from that wound?
Supposedly.
That's so weird.
Poison?
Do you know who's overseeing the investigation?
Magic?
That would be Orsia and the council of Lestraad are the only ones that are trying. But with a council that size of 50-something, it's hard to keep a secret.
Sheesh.
So we were told by he kind of points over at a large, jolly-looking man with a tousle of red hair, and he's walking with a cane, and it's a serious cane.
Yeah.
He told us. He's one of the higher council members of Lestraad.
Doesn't surprise me that much.
So, yeah. You can maybe get more information from him if you're looking for it. But there's... Michael Reed is doing some looking as well.
Ah, good man. That makes me feel a little better.
Michael Reed will be here in another day or so. There's every new moon, a group of elves from the Crystal Kingdom come to Lestraad to speak with our leaders and kind of maintain some relationship. At the moment, a lot of decisions around the investigation are being made between Grafar, the Queen, and
The council.
the Council.
Interesting.
And Grafar's here, right?
And he's kind of actually talking with Sirius.
So we could talk with... I was going to say we could talk with Sirius and Grafar to get more information if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Pam Driver, Captain Pam Driver, is kind of helping oversee the organization of the ceremony. And she comes over and says, Winnie, could I have you for a moment?
Yeah.
She kind of takes you aside and says, so do you have something prepared to say?
I do.
Okay, good. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, I mean, if you had just asked me now, that would have been, that would have been bad.
Okay.
I had a little time.
Very good. So you're going to speak after Grafar. So he'll say something, and then you'll go up, say something, and then you'll be followed by...
Is it going to be Grafar again? Because then it'd be the return of Grafar.
Oh,
Wow.
Definitely
Who's clapping? No, please don't.
Definitely
Don't
the weakest,
clap. You don't
the
have to
weakest
clap.
link in that trilogy.
Eric is clapping.
Clapping for himself.
And then you'll be followed by Bordu's son.
He has a son?
Yeah, and he actually she points out the Delphin chimes in, is trying to talk to Winnie.
I'm sorry.
I love it. Delphin's like slowly creeping near.
help but over here.
She was,
I wasn't eavesdropping.
You didn't know he had a son?
No. I mean, there was a lot going on. It was hard
Fair.
to have time to talk about family.
Yes. She points over at a thin orc sitting by himself, like not muscular and as built, not as like I wouldn't say like as tanky. He's still pretty muscled, but he's sitting over by himself on a bench, just kind of like looking at his hands. He's wearing a lot of leather armor and carries like a lot of blades.
Bordu?
Oh. No. Bordu.
Or done.
It's like the second.
Oh, I was thinking Bordid.
Okay, well now that you're all here,
Sorry.
Pam says she goes. His name's Beryl.
Beryl.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to come on board too.
I don't know if you should talk to him. He's kind of been upset about everything, so he's agreed to say some words on behalf of his father, and that's all that he seems to care to do.
Is there anything else you need from me?
No, that's it. I have other things I need to see to, so thank you, Winnie.
Yeah.
Do you know Jerry?
Yes, we do.
All right, he will be kind of keeping order of just watch for him on the stairs, and he'll give you kind of the cue.
Winnie's gonna ignore her advice, by the way, and walk over to introduce herself to Beryl.
Excellent.
That's so winning.
It's a very, very bloodbreaker thing
In spite
to
of
do.
herself, yeah.
All right, do you just immediately go over to Beryl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like rush up in his face.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, I go over there.
Did you say anything?
So I'm standing in front of him, and that probably puts me about what, like, if he's sitting forward.
I would say you're probably like at eye level
Yeah, I
a
was
little
gonna
bit.
say-
Yeah.
Just
He's just kind of
because
looking
he's
at.
lumped.
He kind of looks up
Slunched.
and he says,
slunched. Slumped.
"You're Winnie, right?"
Yeah. Beryl?
Yeah. He kind of puts out a hand.
It's, I'd say it's nice to meet you, but circumstances are not ideal.
Nah, it's all right. Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah. I'm grateful that you're here.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess, thanks for coming, whatever.
Yeah.
You, he mentioned you a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, he, something would happen, somebody'd do something, and he'd laugh to himself, say, Winnie would have liked that.
Did he drag you around a lot when you came to Lestraad?
No, we didn't really mend things, after he left. So,
Yeah, I didn't meet you while I was at the well. I'm sorry.
I was at a different one.
Yeah, I didn't exactly get a tour or really a welcome the first time.
We aren't really welcoming people.
I 100% understand why.
Yeah. No, when he decided to kind of leave, that messed things up with me.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
I get that.
I don't know. He's a hero, right?
Yeah. I mean, he saved my life a couple times, so I'm
Yeah.
grateful.
Saved a lot of people's lives.
But if you ever want to just grab a deep plate, we don't have to talk about him. I just like to get to know you a little bit.
Sure.
If you stick around.
Bertul, right?
You mean my friend?
Yeah. No, I like Bertul.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, me and my friends. He traveled with us, when it was all going downhill.
He's a reliable person.
He is, yeah.
We learned a lot. We trained by my dad together when I was young.
Yeah, that tracks.
Mm-hmm. It'll be good to see him. That'll be a good catch up.
Yeah. Hey, you cool with me eulogizing? You googlying?
I don't care.
Okay. I just didn't know if anybody had asked you. Not that you wanted to be asked. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just glad you're here.
He was a good man. That's it. He was a good person. I didn't get to see him much. I had him a lot when I was young, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Fighting the power and making his own path, and I'm part of the price, I guess.
Well, if you need anything, let me know.
You got it. You're the Bloodbreakers, right?
Yeah. For better or for worse, I know a lot of people in this city.
I heard there's one of them's got an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if you ever want to get out of here, we could always use more hands on the ship. Airship that has a good name that I can't remember right now, but it's definitely not Airshipy McAirship Face.
Michael Reed's been talking to me.
Really?
Yeah. I just haven't really fit in Lestraad.
Yeah. It's not hard to not fit in.
Yeah. So. All right.
She kind of scuffs the dirt with her foot because it's awkward. Well, be seeing you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Relnor, roll me a perception check.
Oh, no.
18.
Okay, Relnor, there's just a general hum, with the audience that's kind of grown in the crowd.
Yeah.
There's some music playing. It's like the ceremony's about to start and all of that. A herald takes the stage and starts to kind of share generally the accomplishments of Bordu as all that's going on. You guys are more or less just kind of watching the ceremonies. You're not participating like Winnie is. Relnor, you hear a howl. Otherworldly, kind of like a howl of the wolf you saw before. And it's coming from the direction of to the side. And as you look, you see like a hooded figure.
Okay.
Kind of in the shadows, like on the side of a building, just kind of like standing there watching on at the ceremony. You can't really make it out like anything other than just a cloaked, tall figure.
Okay. I'm going to excuse myself and try to head towards the figure.
Okay, so right before Relnor excuses himself, Winnie, you're given kind of a... Grafar's coming off the stage, and you're kind of given the cue by Jer to... Jer.
Well, at least she's gotten used to talking in front of people because of the blood breakers. So she kind of walks out on stage and immediately feels really small because the stage is so big and there's so many people. Are they projecting? Is it just magically?
There's some magical projection. I'll say Grafar kind of gives you maybe a little introduction.
Cool. So I don't have to be like, Bordu was
no.
my friend. Okay.
No, Grafar says, and that was the one of only 500 tomes that Bordu contributed to in our records, and he will always be remembered.
Did he just read a tome?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
And
so everyone's asleep.
Yeah. And he says,
Go Grafar.
next who will be coming up here to share was one that was very close with Bordu. And you all know her as a hero. But when she knew Bordu, they were running from the law.
It's true.
Winnie, if you would. And he kind of starts to walk off stage and
I just feel like it was
Kinda
unnecessary.
greets you as you're coming up.
Yeah. She actually trips a little as she walks across to but nobody laughs or anything because
You Jennifer Lawrence it?
Yeah, just a time. I don't fall to my knees or anything, but I trip over my own feet a little bit. Let's get out to center stage, and she says, "Well, evening, everyone. I think it's evening, isn't it? Is it afternoon?
It is.
Okay. Even if it wasn't, she'd say evening because she's not. Those of you who knew Bordu know he was an orc of few words, so I'll try not to insult his memory by waxing on too long here. Although I know in his later years he would have humored me. Actually, when I met him, he only said the same 2 words over and over again. So, grew a little as we got to know each other more. I think this can be said by a lot of people who knew Bordu. He was fiercely loyal to his friends. He was strong, literally and metaphorically, figuratively, and he had a sweet spot for small, one-eyed cats. But
There's a few chuckles.
yeah, so the orcs know about it, but the rest of the people are like, "What?"
It's so true.
Yeah. I do that. And Bordu wasn't someone to make a decision rashly. And I think those decisions weighed pretty heavily on him. At least you knew when he made a decision that it was one that he meant, even if you didn't know what he meant by it. And I'll always be grateful, as I know many of you will be, that he was there.
We'll say I don't want to interrupt if you have more you want to say.
Nope, that's it.
But we'll say you kind of like you keep going for a little while, sharing your stuff, and as you're kind of giving your speech, Relnor will kind of like follow Relnor as he's kind of like hunting down here.
Yeah.
So you're kind of making your way over there, and there's so many people you lose sight of that alley before you get there.
Okay.
And when you get there, the individual's gone. You don't see anybody there.
Okay.
You can roll like if you want to roll like an investigation or like to see if like you can kind of.
If possible, I would like to try to sniff the air a little bit and see if I can tell if someone was here, which way they went.
Okay.
He's got warden nose already.
How
roll me
woven of
a
him.
survival with advantage. Or at least I'll give you inspiration for thinking to do the nose. So you have inspiration. Here you go. And if you want to use it, if you want to re-roll, you can with that.
I
Big
rolled a
inspiration.
16 plus 5, 21.
21.
Hey!
I think I'll probably go with that.
So yeah, you kind of like dip into your kind of warden powers a little bit and sniff the air. You actually smell. You can smell like that an individual, and you kind of know where this person went.
Okay.
Their scent is familiar, but you can't really place it.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't immediately elicit.
It's not like it was your mom or your dad.
Yeah, you can't figure out who it was exactly, but it does smell like kind of familiar, and you know kind of the path they took, so you can start to kind of follow that.
I'll follow.
As you turn one corner, you actually catch sight of the figure, and they kind of look at you, and you can see kind of a gleam through their eye from like the darkness. But when they realize they're being followed, they run.
I will run after them.
Yeah, do it.
All right, so
It's a chase.
chasing this individual through the alleys, and roll me a dexterity because they're kind of like throwing down stuff behind them as they're running.
Saving throw?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay, 28.
Nice. Okay, yeah. You're able to really like nimbly like move past any of the like the carts or things that this person's knocking down to kind of avoid getting grabbed.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd say like you've got a chance to snag the cloak.
Yeah.
Is it your mom?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll try to grab the cloak.
Okay, you grab the cloak and it comes off freely, and then standing on the other side of this alley, having run a few steps and then stopped and looked back, is Donnie Russell.
Donnie.
Oh boy, do I not know what to do.
Oh, you'd be in shock.
Yeah.
Donnie.
I did that already. I need to do that.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Donnie.
And he stands there and looks at you and says, "Don't, Relnor."
Dun,
And that's
dun, dun.
where we're gonna end the episode.
Oh my heavens.
Thank you everyone for listening to the Titans of Altera. As
So
always,
welcome.
I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan.
Dalvin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
and Donnie. All right, thanks everybody.
No, not Donnie.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Apparently, that's Donnie.
Bye.